schools were having these kind of problems out in the rural areas, and their solution was consolidation. And the state legislature just told them, here's town A, town B, town C. You're going to put a high school right in the middle of the cornfield, triangulating between them, and if you don't like it, you're going to lose your school district, basically. And it was a tough pill to swallow, but it, you know, after 10 years, it worked, and people got used to it and whatnot. And you know, obviously, we got a new high school here, so we're not going to build a new high school between here and Shell Lake or anything like that. But it does seem to me that we're going to have to start thinking outside the box on some of this stuff and build a better mousetrap. And I'm just wondering if Spooner School District or school board has discussed anything with Shell Lake. You know, I know they have a superintendent that they have an opening for. Maybe we could share superintendents or something like that. I know other schools are doing that now, but you know, we're going to have to build a better mousetrap. And you know, I don't think anything should be taken off the table when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Well, it really isn't. We're open to any suggestion anybody might have. And if they think of something, don't hesitate to give a call. Yes.
I did some speaking engagements a few years ago, and I was up in a very small town up in, like, almost close to Michigan. And they had consolidated. In the town that I was with, they were the ones who lost their school to consolidate. And they were telling me about the issues that they were facing, that the community was shriveling up and dying. Their families with children were moving away. I would very much hate to see that in our community.
Traditionally, the schools are the center of the activity for the whole town. Anybody else?
I'd just like to say thank you to the school board, the administration. You've done a fairly fair and equitable job trying to have solutions. I'd like to thank you for this. It's not easy.
Well, our administrators did most of the work, and I thank them for that because it was not easy to do, and it's a good start, and it's just something that we have to do. We have no choice. We can't put it on the credit card anymore. We got to pay as we go. We've always had it here.
Do you need board action?
Well, that would be under personnel, actually. I have one more thing that I almost hesitate to share, but the board needs to see this before probably the next meeting. I talked about moving parent-teacher conference days. I'm sorry, I don't like springing things on the board in the middle of the meeting, but might as well. I talked about moving parent-teacher conference days into the calendar, and up here is a prototype, and it's very early prototype, and it's probably not really fair to anybody, but what I've drawn up here is, for example, what the start of next school year could look like. We can't start school until September 1st. The high school has traditionally had a freshman first day. The elementary school last year had some parent-teacher conferences on the first day of school. Middle school may or may not do something similar. Since the 1st of September is on a Thursday, I'm going to propose that the first day be a parent-teacher conference day. If the high school wants to still have freshmen first and invite freshmen in that day and parents, it counts as a parent-teacher conference day. If the elementary school wants to do something similar, lengthen it out. I don't know what the time frame would be. Instead of doing it from 8 to 3, maybe you do it from noon to 7 or something like that so that you catch more parents. So all teachers would come in on August 31st. We'd have an in-service day. Teachers work the first, since we haven't had a whole lot of kids there, and we catch a little grief for running buses for only 9th graders and 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders don't run buses. Have parent-teacher conferences. Have the second be another in-service day, because it would really be dorky to start school on a Friday and then take a 3-day weekend and then come back on Monday. And so start with kids actually the day after Labor Day. And I don't have that circled up there, but it's the 6th, I guess, of September. So there's some things that we can do in the calendar. You'll notice on that, one of the changes that I've got on this, again, this is an early prototype, is that there are no days off in October. That's because there's no NWEA convention this year, and so we don't have to take those days off in October. I know it's a long stretch, though, from September 6th all the way to pretty much Thanksgiving. It's a long stretch, but the other part of it is that at the beginning of the year, people are kind of excited about being in school, and it doesn't necessarily seem that long. But we can move vacation days around. Those aren't drawn in there. I've got furlough days written in for the Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. And that's, again, this is just a quick little proposal. We've always taken a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off on Thanksgiving week. The Monday and Tuesday, our attendance at the high school is not good. Our attendance at the middle school is not good. Call them in-service days and take them for furlough days. And that would be my proposal on where the furlough days would go. We can build in parent-teacher conference days. Again, this is just a quick little prototype. I've got a parent-teacher conference day, for example, on Monday. And I don't know whether people would want those on Mondays or Fridays, or if they'd want them in the middle of the week, because remember, on parent-teacher conference days, on my prototype, kids are not coming to school. And so, I think we'll have to talk to citizens about when they would want those. I drew them in on Mondays and Fridays to make for long 3-day weekends for kids, but maybe it's not the best idea. That's just tossed in there. And then that's why the other parent-teacher conference day you see there is in February. And those are the 3 days. Got vacation days around. We've still got President's Day. We've got the random March vacation day. Towards the end of the year, we've got the Thursday, Friday, and Monday around Easter still. We've got Memorial Day, last student day, and then the teachers would come in for one more work day after that. This is, again, just a prototype. If you want to give me a call and tell me what you think, I'd be happy to take the calls. That's the first the board's seen it too. I don't expect immediate comments, but if you want to give me a call, feel free to. There you go. So we can make the furlough days work in the calendar without extensively lengthening the school week.
What's dismal attendance on Thanksgiving week?
Bob, attendance at the high school for the Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week?
It approaches half the students.
Same at the middle school, pretty much?
It's a little
Probably
more.
not quite as much. 8th grade, I would say, is our highest absentee.
The issue being, of course, you have half there, but you can hardly see the
Hard
class.
to teach,
you know.
yeah, okay. I know we thought that maybe once kids got used to having to go to school, that would change, but that was
It's a good thought.
Okay, the next item is personnel.
I'm recommending that the board issue preliminary layoff notice and authorized layoff notices for Dan Buckman, middle school tech ed and computer teacher, half-time for Maria Nelson, high school, middle school Spanish teacher, and for all faculty and staff members for 2 days of temporary layoff for the 2011-12 school year.
This is what you're calling the